India in 2025, a land where tradition and technology collide in the most fascinating ways. We've got robots serving chai and flying rickshaws zipping through the skies. The future is here and it's dazzling. But guess what's harder to shake off than Delhi traffic? The caste system. Despite the leaps in technology, some things remain deeply entrenched. Over 50% of Indians still marry within their caste. These age-old traditions continue to dictate personal choices. That's right, a social hierarchy from thousands of years ago is still calling the shots in love and life. Protests erupt, debates rage on, the streets are alive with voices demanding change. Clearly, caste isn't ancient history, it's India's present reality. From bustling cities to quiet villages, the caste system's influence is unmistakable. Many hoped that modernization would sweep away these old divisions. The dream was that technology and progress would bring equality. But caste has proven to be as stubborn as a stain on your favorite kurta. It clings on, refusing to be washed away by the tides of change. It's woven into the fabric of society, from marriage halls to the halls of parliament. It influences decisions at every level, from personal relationships to political policies. So, buckle up as we unpack this complex system and see if it's fading or just finding new ways to survive. Join us on this journey to understand how an ancient social structure continues to shape modern India. To understand caste in 2025, we need a history lesson. The roots of the caste system are deeply embedded in the ancient texts and traditions of India. It's a complex and multifaceted social structure that has evolved over millennia. Think back to ancient India over 3,000 years ago. This was a time when the foundations of what we now know as the caste system were being laid. The society was organized in a way that each group had specific roles and responsibilities. The Vedas, sacred Hindu texts, laid out a social order with four main varnas: Brahmins, priests and scholars; Kshatriyas, warriors and rulers; Vaishyas, traders and merchants; and Shudras, laborers. Each varna had its own duties and place in the social hierarchy, creating a structured society. And then there were the Dalits, those considered outside this varna system, subjected to discrimination and deemed untouchable. They were marginalized and faced severe social exclusion, a plight that has persisted through the ages. Over centuries, this system became more rigid. The fluidity that might have existed in the early days gradually disappeared, and the caste lines became more defined and unyielding. Thousands of subgroups called jatis emerged, each with its own place in the hierarchy. These jatis were often linked to specific occupations, further entrenching the social divisions. The complexity of the caste system increased as these subgroups multiplied. Fast forward to British rule. The British, with their talent for exploiting existing divisions, often reinforced the caste system for administrative purposes. They saw the caste system as a convenient way to manage the vast and diverse population of India. The British codified caste identities, further entrenching the system in Indian society. They conducted censuses and created official records that solidified caste distinctions, making it even harder for individuals to move beyond their assigned social status. They codified caste identities, further entrenching the system in Indian society. This legacy of division and hierarchy has had lasting impacts, influencing social dynamics in India to this day. Understanding this history is crucial to addressing the caste issues that persist in modern times. Fast forward to today. The Indian Constitution, adopted in 1950, outlawed caste discrimination and untouchability. But old habits die hard. Caste continues to impact everyday life, from who you marry to what job you get. Let's break it down. Love marriages? Cute, but not so fast. A whopping 93% of Indian marriages are still arranged, and guess what plays a starring role in these matchmaking endeavors? You guessed it, caste. Families often prioritize matching caste before anything else. Even dating apps now come equipped with caste filters. It seems even algorithms can't escape the clutches of tradition. Section 5: Reservations leveling the playing field. India knows its history of discrimination. To right these wrongs, the government implemented a system of reservations. This system sets aside a percentage of government jobs and university seats for members of historically disadvantaged communities, namely scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes. It's a huge leg up, but is it enough? The reservation system isn't without its critics. Some argue that it's reverse discrimination, giving preferential treatment based on caste, not merit. They say it breeds resentment and division. The debate rages on with no easy solutions in sight. Section 6 caste in the voting booth. Think politics are immune to the caste factor? Think again. Political parties often appeal to specific caste groups to secure votes. Parties like the Bahujan Samaj Party, or BSP, have built their base by championing the rights of Dalits. In other states, regional caste groups like the Jats and Yadavs hold considerable political sway. This caste-based political mobilization can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gives a voice to marginalized communities, but it can also deepen social divisions and fuel identity politics. Section 7. Recent legal and social shifts. The battle over caste is playing out in courts and on the streets. A 2021 Supreme Court ruling tried to put a cap on reservations, but some states are finding ways to push those boundaries. The debate on whether to include caste in the upcoming census is causing quite a stir. Should the government even be collecting this data? It's a sensitive issue with strong opinions on both sides. But here's a glimmer of hope. A new generation is questioning age-old traditions. The free library network is popping up across India, providing access to information and challenging caste barriers. Could books be the ultimate weapon against an ancient system? Section 8. Urban dreams, rural realities. The story of caste in India isn't one size fits all. In bustling cities, anonymity offers a cloak. Urban youth are more likely to ditch caste restrictions, choosing love over lineage. Intercaste marriages are slowly on the rise, but venture into rural India, and it's a different story. In villages, caste is deeply entrenched. It dictates social standing, occupation, even access to basic resources. Breaking these norms can lead to ostracism, even violence. The urban-rural divide in India isn't just about development, it's about how rigidly caste is enforced. Section 9. Fading or transforming. So, is the caste system on its way out? It's complicated. The caste system, deeply entrenched in Indian society for centuries, has shown remarkable resilience. Despite numerous efforts to dismantle it, the system continues to influence various aspects of life. From social interactions to economic opportunities, caste plays a pivotal role. On one hand, education, urbanization, and legal reforms are chipping away at its rigid structure. The spread of education has empowered individuals from marginalized communities, providing them with tools to challenge the status quo. Urbanization has brought people from diverse backgrounds together, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. Legal reforms aimed at promoting equality have made significant strides in reducing caste-based discrimination. On the other hand, caste identity remains strong, influencing everything from marriage to politics. Traditional practices, such as arranged marriages within the same caste, continue to be prevalent. Political parties often cater to specific caste groups to secure votes, further entrenching caste divisions. In marketplaces and social gatherings, caste-based interactions are still evident, reflecting the deep-rooted nature of this social hierarchy. As Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the architect of the Indian Constitution and a fierce critic of caste, famously said, caste is not a division of labor, it's a division of laborers. His words resonate even today, highlighting the inherent inequality perpetuated by the caste system. Ambedkar's vision was to create a society where individuals are judged by their abilities and not by their birth. The future of caste in India hangs in the balance. While there are signs of progress, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. The younger generation, more aware and connected than ever before, is questioning the relevance of caste in modern society. In rural areas, however, traditional beliefs and practices still hold sway, making change a slow and arduous process. Will it fade away, replaced by a more egalitarian society? The hope is that with continued efforts in education, legal reforms and social awareness, the caste system will eventually become a relic of the past. A society where opportunities are based on merit and not on caste is the ultimate goal. Or will it simply morph and adapt, finding new ways to assert its influence? Only time will tell. The caste system has shown a remarkable ability to adapt to changing circumstances, and it remains to be seen how it will evolve in the future. But one thing's for sure, the conversation about caste in India is far from over. As society continues to evolve, the dialogue around caste will remain a crucial part of the journey towards equality and justice.